Good morning, family and friends of Oakland Cemetery. It is March 10th on this beautiful sunny day. The sun literally just came out. We're here in section 1 of Oakland Cemetery, and some of the stones that we work on, the raise, resets, sometimes it's just a cleaning. We'll have it done in a day, especially when you have two people, like Mr. Harmon, who's behind the camera, as well as myself and many of the other volunteers who may swing by. Just to let you know, the stone that we're working on, we've been working on this since probably October or November of last year. And this is the stone of Mary E, as in Echo, Mahone, Wingfield, W-I-N-G-F-I-E-L-D. This stone is 164 years old. She was born on March 9, 1827, so we literally passed her birthday by a day, and passed away in June 6, 1856, at the age of 29 years and 3 months. A couple things about this stone is that the stone had been in the ground, at least the top half of the stone, for at least a couple of, or at least a decade that we know of, the top half of the stone. So imagine if this was the top half of the stone, this is the bottom half of the stone. Around this time last year, September of last year, the top half of the stone had fell down. So there's a picture of that September of 2023, where the top half of the stone was fell down. Well, we ended up finding out, most likely what happened is that this stone, someone may have just set it back up, put it in the ground far enough to where it was stable. And just because it would be shallow, eventually it would fall down again. And then in the raise and reset process of Miss Wingfield's stone, we ended up finding out that the top half of the stone, we were able to locate that because it was just right here on the ground. The bottom half of the stone was physically separate by about 2 feet. And I personally did not find it because I didn't see anything there. Mr. Harmon, based off his experience, had probed around enough, and he realized that there was what we thought was a base at the time, but it was actually the bottom half of this stone. The long and short of it, with one of our volunteers, Mr. Don, who was here when we actually epoxied the top and bottom half of the stone here before, we had the clamps locked in place so that way the top half and the bottom half of the stone are as stable as possible. So we're going to unwrap the stone here. This bag has been keeping the epoxy and the stone dry for the past, we'll say at least a month or so. And then you'll get to see the final impression of this stone once we get everything revealed. And you may see a lot of water spilling off this bag, and that's basically what we've been protecting it from over the past couple of months. So here we go.
Turned out pretty nice there, didn't it?
Absolutely. All right, so the boards that we had set aside to keep the stone in place, basically where the crack was, I'm just going to kind of point it out. So I got our makeshift probing tool. The crack was about right here. So this stone is what we found. The bottom half of the stone was at least submerged 2 feet below the ground. So if you didn't look hard enough, you probably would not even see that. And then basically we let this, the top half of the stone, the bottom half of the stone, let set with the epoxy over time with the clamping mechanism. And we could easily say the first time at least 20 years, if not a lot longer, because if you think about the time that this bottom half of the stone sunk to the ground, that's how long it's been since this stone has been upright. So here you go. We have a couple more things that we're going to show you before we close out the video, but that's Miss Wingfield's stone, and we'll see you in the next clip. Good morning, folks and family of Oakland Cemetery. This is Sean, got Steve behind the camera. We're here at section 1 of a prior raise and reset. What we're going to do in this video, we just want to do, we've had so many videos come out, and this is just kind of like a little housekeeping video where we just had a couple of errors in the past. We couldn't correct it at the time of making the video. We caught it after the video. And even myself, I definitely know with the next couple stones that you're going to see in the next couple clips, I must have mispronounced the name several times while making the video, so I just wanted to kind of correct that today. We're actually at the family site of the Ghivizzani family, and there's if you go to find a grave, we'll have the link in the description section below. The raise and reset that we did was for Samuel Raphell Giacchetti, and then his stone was kind of tilted down to the left-hand side facing you, and then we did a raise and reset of his, so that's why you see it level on the base. And then the mother's stone was actually sunken in the ground pretty much from here all the way down to the ground. Because it was level and clean at the time, we did not have the intent to raise it, but in order to be able to lift this stone, Mr. Samuel's, we indirectly raised the mother stone, Miss Sarah Ghivizzani. And so for in the midst of doing that, for Mr. Samuel and Ralph Ghivizzani, we found 2 foot markers. For Samuel Raphell Giacchetti, it was SRG, the initials, and then at the bottom it says at rest. And then for Mr. Ralph Ghivizzani, it's R, so Romeo, Kilo, Golf, and then his inscription says only sleeping. So we were able to do a raise and reset for the mother stone as well as for Samuel's stone, and then we were able to find the foot markers for the 2 individuals, Samuel and Ralph. Unique story about Ralph. I won't go into the details too much, but there's a really good article covering the servicemanship of Mr. Ralph Ghivizzani. He was a police officer here in the Hampton Roads area, and he had passed away in the line of duty. He was actually killed in the line of duty. The article covers it. He was answering a call and basically was killed by the suspect in the case. But the Hampton Roads Police Department did a really nice tribute to the officers that have been that passed away in the line of duty or were slain in the line of duty. And there's an amazing statue, a bronze statue of a couple of those officers. And what I didn't know at the time till I saw the video, and we'll probably post the link of the tribute video in the description below, but he held badge number 3. So it just shows you how long ago and when he was in the police force, and having an early number badge, I'm sure it meant a lot for his department that he was part of that service. And they do a beautiful tribute to him and his family, or at least and the other officers that are out there. But what I wanted to make sure I covered was, of course, his backstory, as well as the raise and reset and the correct pronunciation of the name, which is Ghivizzani. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave it in the comment section below. Give us a like and subscribe, and we appreciate your support. And we'll see you at the next stone. Friends and family, we're back here now at section 2 of Oakland Cemetery. Just kind of doing some follow-up and correcting if we had any issues with past videos. We're just trying to catch up to them. We necessarily can't get to all the comments, but we do appreciate your feedback. I personally, myself, when I was going over these videos, some of the names were a lot more difficult for me to pronounce while we're making the videos, so I was trying to get back to either a family member or go through the comments and make sure that I get the pronunciation correct. These two stones right here, we did a raise and reset a couple months ago. This entire stone of Miss Catherine Giacchetti was actually face down into the ground. We did a raise and reset of her stone, and then to my left, Mr. Raphell. We just so happened to be in the area since we already had all our lifting gear for Miss Catherine's stone. We went ahead and raised Mr. Raphell's Giacchetti's stone likewise. So it was pretty much from here down into the ground, so about 4 to 6 inches in the ground. And we did a raise and reset of that stone, and then Miss Catherine Giacchetti's stone. So just a little bit of accountability on our part. We got one more stone and a slight little teaser bonus clip at the very end, and then we'll see you over at the next site. Folks and family, we are back here at section 4 of Oakland Cemetery. There's a lot of wind, so I'm going to apologize in advance for the wind noise that you hear. We're at the site of the Giddings family. To my right is Miss Raphell Giddings. This is actually the, what I learned from Mr. Harmon, this is actually the first stone, so the oldest stone here at Oakland Cemetery. When we were working this stone, there was a lot of the orange organic growth on the stone. As you can see, now it's like bright white and just beautiful. Along with cleaning of the stone, the other thing that we did is that the stone was leaning probably about 5 to 10 degrees forward, and what we ended up doing is we set the stone upright. We were able to shim the base, and then the stone's been relatively level ever since. It's been pretty level ever since. While we were doing that, the stone that's in front of me, Mr. Henry Giddings, this stone was physically broken into 2 pieces. Actually, so the headstone was broken into 2 pieces. The base, which you see right here, was completely flat. And usually that's not a problem. But this stone, for the longest time, was set to the side. The base had what we call either like an insert or a spigot, where the top stone, if this was the headstone and this is the foundation, so looking down on the foundation, you'll see like a rectangular block. And so then the headstone will fit into the rectangular block, and it's an easy fit. It doesn't require metal pins or anything like that. Of course, based off of experience, the equipment you have, you might not be able to raise and reset the stone, or it just has to stay in the ground as is. The family, or the loved ones of these individuals, as well as the family, kind of helped us out in 2 tremendous ways. We were able to get this stone upright and correct, but they also donated a lot of the wet and forget cleaner, which you couldn't see in the video where we actually did the raise and reset. We did D2, wet and forget, and used Orvis paste on several of the stones in the area. But the family was super generous, and just they donated a whole bottle of the wet and forget, which is an amazing job on these stones. So this stone right here was repaired by the Suffolk Monument Company, and sometimes you don't know if it's going to take a week, or in this case it took a couple of months. And of course they're an active business, so they have lots of stones that they work on, but they did an amazing job with this one. So kind of what they did, they took the top half and the bottom half of the stone, put them together, and made this very seamless joint right here. And then because of we talked about the insert where it was physically broken off, they basically drilled two holes, put a two stainless steel pins in, and of course I had to drill the bottom of this stone so that way that the top half can fit on the bottom, and that's how you have this upright, really nice setting stone that you see right here. So this stone is finally been upright thanks to the Suffolk Monument Company. Did an amazing job with this one, and we have one more little stone that we're going to work on, or just would like to close out for you, and then just give you a little recap of what we have ahead of us, and that is it for time now. We'll see you at the next site. Folks and family, this was the unexpected kind of bonus cut here for the video. What we have here is we're in section 3, the Echo, E-A-C-H-O family plot. There was a photo, not necessarily a photo request, but there was a memorial and find a grave for Caroline M. Echo, who was a child of the Echo family. We had attempted to search this plot before. We could not find the stone, and it just so happened that this morning we just like, okay, well, let's while we're getting things ready, we used our probing tool, actually this modified golf club, probed around, and it ended up finding Caroline M. Echo's gravesite. It's a really unique template. It's Caroline M. Echo, born July 5th, 1907, passed away July 27, 1910. So she was just a little over 3 years old, and it says, "Our darling." So this is an excellent case in point of the work we have ahead of us. So I just want to read you out some numbers. Along with all the work that Mr. Harmon and his team do to cut the grass, pick up the sticks, clean everything in the cemetery, as far as locating stones go, here's what we have. So Oakland Cemetery has approximately 4,700 graves. It's like 4,600 and some change. 700 have been noted to be in Oakland Cemetery, but we have not physically verified it. Out of the 700, 200 of those have been identified as being buried here, but not physically located by us. And then of the 200, 75 of them are temporary markers, and then we know 3 of them are possibly overgrown stones because there has been a picture of them in the past. We have a couple of videos of like that in the past where we find a stone because either one, someone has taken a picture of it, or it's been documented somehow, some other way. But and then of course, like a temporary marker, honestly, like Miss Caroline Echo's stone, we're expecting a stone that's more like this one to the right, where it's an infant stone. It's probably a 6x10 or 6x12. I would not expect something like this because we have a lot of bricks and concrete, so it's very easy to overlook an object like that, which so happens to be a stone. And of course, temporary markers are harder to locate likewise. So we have quite a bit of work to do as far as uncovering and finding stones. We'll keep on doing our raise and resets. And I just want to give a big thanks to, big shout out to, of course, all of you out there in YouTube land. And Mr. William Hazlitt, if you're out there, I know, want to give a big thanks to you for using your platform to share this channel and the work that gets done out here in Oakland Cemetery, and kind of shining a light of what happens out here. And of course, I want to thank each and every one of you out there for your support. We get a lot of feedback, and we'll try to get back to each and every one of you as soon as we can. And of course, as the channel expands, it's going to get tougher, but we're going to do our best. And once again, like we said, there's a lot of work ahead of us, but the biggest thing is we just want to thank every one of you that's out there, and thanks for joining us in that journey. If you have any questions or comments, please leave it in the comment section below. Drop us a like and subscribe. Share it with a friend that you think might be interested in the same work that we do out here. And as always, we appreciate your support.